Hola y bienvenidos. Hoy vamos a leer dos cosas, el participio pasado y el presente perfecto. So today's lesson is all about the formation of the Spanish past participle and then how we use that past participle to form a new tense, which is called the present perfect. In English, this is all the tense have or has verbed, the present perfect, okay? We use this all the time, so we're going to go ahead and learn how to do it in español. So here are our goals. Metas are goals for the lesson. So our first goal is to, I'm going to review the form of the present participle, which is a gerund. You've seen it a lot, so I'm going to kind of point that out to you. And then we're going to learn the formation of the Spanish past participle. There are some irregulars when we form the Spanish past participle. And then we will take that past participle and combine it with another verb, and that will create a new tense called the present perfect, have verbs. And we will then have to talk about pronoun placement for the present perfect tense. So if we have a direct object pronoun or an indirect object pronoun or a reflexive pronoun, we have to know how to handle those with a compound tense. Okay? So first of all, let's talk about what a gerund is. So a lot of times when we've been reading, we see this ando or yendo. It's that ing. It's not really popular in Spanish. English uses it a whole lot, but we do see it every once in a while. So I just kind of wanted to point that out. That's called a present participle, or often it's called a gerund too. So that looks like this. It's hablar, is hablando, comer, comiendo, and salir, saliendo. So there we have speaking, eating, and leaving. Now, this is usually hanging out with estar. So estoy hablando is to express exactly what is happening right at this very moment. It's called the present progressive, meaning it's an action that's in progress right now. So just to point out, you've seen this. This is a present participle. Estoy mirando una lección de español. So that's what you're doing right now. I'm watching a Spanish lesson. All right, so that's the present participle. We're going to focus on the past participle. Okay, so we're going to use the past participle to form what's called the presente perfecto. We translate that by saying have verbed. So it's a compound tense. Compound tense meaning it has two parts. So the first part is going to be the present tense of a verb haber. You may not be super familiar with haber. You use it in the form of I. I is a form of haber. It never appears on the chart, but it actually comes from haber. So anyway, we're going to use the present tense of haber, and then we're going to link that up with the past participle, and that will make our tense. So it's a compound tense in the sense that it has two parts. So when we say, I have eaten, we have studied, Elvis has left the building, okay? That is the present perfect in English. Notice that you see have or has, and then the participles of the verbs eat, or to eat is eaten, study is studied, and to leave is left. Okay, so those are English past participles, eaten, studied, and left. So that's what the present perfect is in English, in case you were a little unclear on that. So let's work on just forming that past participle. How do we do that? Past participles in English often end in ed, like we saw in the previous slide, studied. Okay, or sometimes it ends in en, like eaten. We don't say eated, right? There's a lot of irregular past participles in English. So in Spanish, it's really simple. We take off the AR of the infinitive and we add ADO. If it's ER or IR, we add IDO. So, for example, hablar becomes hablado. That's spoken. Comer is comido, eaten. Remember, we don't say ate. You don't say I have ate. It's I have eaten. Okay, this is just the eaten part. We're leaving the have part to later on in the video. And then vivir is vivido, live. So just focusing on participle formation right now. So pause the video and see if you can try it on your own. Don't worry about ear. You just take off the ending, which is IR, and then you add the ending, which is edo. Okay, so and that means gone. So go ahead, pause, and try to do the next 9 on your own. Okay, so now you can check your answers. You have pagar, which you should have had pagado, paid. Dar, chop off the AR, dado, given. Salir, chop off the IR, add IDO, salido, left. Vender becomes vendido, sold. Perder, perdido, lost. Preferir is preferido, preferred. Dormir is dormido, slept. Ser is regular. Just chop off the ER, add IDO, sido. And comentar is comentado, commented. So those are all regular participles in Spanish. You just chop off the ending and add ado or ido, and you get that past participle. So as you can see, it's pretty simple to form a past participle in Spanish. So, of course, there are going to be some irregulars, and irregulars are ones that you just have to memorize, all right? So let's go ahead and take a look. You definitely want to make sure that you write all of this down. So abrir is irregular. It's abierto, which is opened. Cubrir is cubierto. Decir is dicho. Describir, descrito. Descubrir is descubierto. So you can see it's related to cubrir is cubierto, descubrir, descubierto. We've talked about compound words before, so. Devolver is devuelto. Envolver, envuelto. I think you're probably picking up on a pattern here with words that have volver in them. Escribir is kind of strange that it's irregular because it's always been a regular verb for us in every form. But for some reason in the participle to say, like, I have written, when you get to the written part, you're going to have to get to escrito. I don't know why. I don't make the rules. Hacer is hecho. Morir is muerto. So that's died. So we saw this on El Internado when we talked about his parents have died. We said han muerto. So that muerto is the participle of morir. Poner is puesto. Resolver is resuelto. Romper, roto. Ver is to see. Visto is seen. And then volver, you saw its other compound versions on the left-hand side, so volver, returned by itself, is vuelto. Now, notice that these are not words that stand alone, okay? We're just practicing right now. They're going to have to hang out with haber to do something. You just can't say, yo vuelto, for I returned. It's not a real verb by itself. It has to be with the forms of haber, okay? So that's in another couple slides. So real quick, we need to talk about ido verbs, the I con acento. So verbs that end in ER and have a vowel before the ending accent the I in the participle form. So words like caer, traer, creer, and leer all have accented I's in their participles. But I don't want you to worry about UIR verbs. They do have a vowel before IR, but it doesn't have an accent mark. Those are just regular. One you should add here too is the verb oír. I can't believe I forgot that. Oír, to hear. Oído has an accent mark. It means heard. Okay, so pause and try to do these on your own. Okay, so let's come back and check your answers. So they're all, none of these are, well, I guess I shouldn't say that because uido is regular, okay? Hopefully you put the English down. Notice how uir, the past participle, is fled. I've had students before say fleed, like that. It's not, that's not the word. So I have fled, not I have fleed, right? Okay, so this is just kind of a mix of all the different ones, all right? So now let's talk about how we're going to use these participles because like I said, they can't hang out by themselves. They have to hang out with a conjugated form of haber. That's really important that you understand this is a compound tense, meaning it is two words together to make one verb conjugation. We've never done that before. We've always just taken the infinitive, chopped off the ending, and done something to it, right? This is a little bit different. So we're going to be saying the subject has or have verb. So we just focused on the verbed part. Now we have to focus on that has or have. Okay, so it's really simple. We just have to memorize the forms of haber. As you can see, haber is irregular, of course, right? Look at it. I mean, it's not like we're chopping off the ER and putting an O and we're getting the word abo. It doesn't exist. So we have to memorize that the yo form is tú has, usted ha, nosotros hemos. The vosotros is actually the only place that it's regular. It is habéis and then ustedes han. So here's some examples. I have eaten. Yo he comido. We have studied. Hemos estudiado. Elvis has left. Elvis ha salido. Here's another Elvis has left, this time using a reflexive verb. So you can see what we do with a reflexive. Notice Elvis se ha ido. And what's really important is that you notice right here, there's like a force field around this particular part of the verb. Haber and its participle can never be separated, and you can't attach anything to it at all. So the reflexive verb goes all the way, the reflexive pronoun, goes all the way out in front. Every pronoun is going to go out here. So let's take a look at it. This example. Here's one with the direct object pronoun. They haven't seen it. Ellos no lo han visto. So the lo goes all the way before the present perfect. This is considered one verb conjugation right here. It's just two words, but it's the entire verb conjugation. So you have to put the pronoun before the conjugated verb. You can't put it anywhere else. Okay? All right, so pause and try to translate these sentences. All right, and we'll come back in a second and check your answers. All right, so number 1 says, we haven't eaten. No hemos comido. Y'all have seen it. So we've got an it in there. Y'all should be vosotros. So, lo habéis visto. Can't put that lo anyplace else. That habéis and visto has to hang out together. Nothing can come between haber and its participle. Have you decided? Notice how in English, we can split up the have and the participle. We cannot do that in Spanish. It's going to be habéis. Oh, that should be has decidido. Well, I guess if we're talking to you all, you probably put has decidido. I have brought her a gift. Okay, so here's I have bought. Sorry, he comprado. There's the gift. Le is the indirect object pronoun, and it goes all the way before the verb. If these aren't going super well for you, don't worry about it. We're going to do lots of practice in class with this. So it's not like the test is tomorrow, so you're all good. She has set the table. So here's, remember that poner is irregular. There's puesto, okay? Not ponido, it's irregular, okay? So ella ha puesto la mesa. All right, so those are kind of challenging, right? We haven't done that before, and these are full sentences. So like I said, we'll do plenty of practice. We'll practice with the participle first, and then we'll put it all together. So I'll give you plenty of opportunities to kind of work the kinks out in class. Don't worry about that, okay? All I need you to do next is make sure that you fill out the Google form that's located right below this lesson. Gracias.